What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the You Might Be Surprised podcast. Oh my gosh, how is everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing great on whenever you're listening to this. Currently, it is Sunday for me. And if you're watching the video podcast, you're probably like, oh, Chris, you look a little tired. You look exhausted. And that is because I am. I turned 25 yesterday on November 6th. And Shaboy went out, had some drinks, had played some games, had one of the most funniest Uber experiences of my life. Let me talk about that real quick. Oh my gosh. So I was in the computer? I was in the Uber going to the bar that I was meeting a couple friends at. And it's me and my friend. We hop in to this Uber, and the Uber driver is on the phone with her sister. And dude, it was about a 20-minute drive, and she caught her husband cheating. The sister caught her husband cheating, so she was giving her the breakdown, and she was like, "What's up, Rydas? This is gonna be the greatest ride of your life." And we're like, "Okay, what do we just walk into?" And dude, she caught this dude cheating because he was playing Candy Crush on his phone, and he fell asleep with his phone. So then she had some suspicion, and she was like, I know I shouldn't be going through my man's phone, but I got to. And she grabs the phone, she looks at it, she sees these text messages with this girl, and instead of just waking him up in like a normal way you would wake someone up if you just found out they were cheating, she takes the phone and throws it on his dick. And I want to just picture you getting yourself into a Lyft or an Uber and experiencing that. I was laughing so hard. I was crying. It was the top 3 funniest things that has ever happened to me in my whole entire life. It was absolutely hilarious. But yeah, man, I went to I did that. I'm very hungover right now. I contemplated not even doing this podcast. I contemplated waiting till tomorrow, but I really want to get it done. We wind back the clocks, daylight savings, an extra hour of sleep, or if you're young, an extra hour that you could spend at the bar. And that may or may not have been what I did. But yeah, man, 25. I feel weird. I don't feel old, but I feel like I should be doing more with my life, if that makes any sense. Some of you guys are probably in the same boat as me. And yeah, I'm still just trying to get
on my jet, bitch.
I'm just trying to get that level of life where I just have a PJ, But yeah, man, welcome back to another episode. This podcast is cool because you never know what's going to happen. So if you guys are new here, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I did want to talk some about this podcast. I was going to make the whole podcast about the Eternals movie, but I have some other stuff that I want to talk about too. And I started recording this just as that. And I found out that I suck at explaining things. Which is kind of hilarious because I'm on a podcast and you're pretty much what you're doing is you're explaining things. But I wanted to talk about the Eternals movie because I think it's important to talk about, especially with all the backlash it's getting, and just because it's a dope movie and I like comic book stuff. Dude, all the shows I watch are comic books. When I mean comic books, I mean DC or Marvel. And I haven't missed a opening day for a Marvel film this year besides Black Widow, but I don't count that because that was, if you know anything, that was kind of like the closing chapter of the first 22 movies. So I was like, I don't really need to go. I just watched that at home because you could, but everything else, Shang-Chi, Venom, now the Eternals, it's lit, dude. I love comic book stuff. But let's talk about it here. This is a spoiler review. I'm gonna go into some spoilers, so if you want, you can skip this part. But if you want to listen to it, cool. Dude, it's getting a lot of backlash. Like, it got like 49% on Rotten Tomatoes because the people were like, "Oh my God, it's so hard to follow." Bitch, what? Hey, critics, you blind? Hey, critics, do you have eyes? That movie was fantastic from start to beginning, and now it's getting tons of backlash. It's getting tons of backlash. The Eternals movie is getting tons of backlash because there was a gay scene and there's a sex scene. Oh, not in a Marvel movie, a sex scene. Also, that sex scene was freaking whack. It wasn't even a good one. And like, I don't even understand why. It was just two people laying on top of each other. That's all it was. But I think it's getting more backlash because of the gay scenes or the two guys kissing. Which, hey, like it's 2021. What? How are we still having conversations? Like, how is this still a thing that people are upset about it? All right, it's crazy. But yeah, dude, the movie was fantastic. I went on opening day. They gave me this Marvel's Eternals book. It's just all the front covers of the past Eternals comics, which is super cool. I've not a big comic book reader. I probably would enjoy it, but I'm gonna hold on to this because I think it's gonna be a valuable piece one day. So super cool. But yeah, man, I really want to talk about it because I'm a huge comic book fan, and if anyone here is like me and they want to have somebody kind of break down the stuff that's not into crazy deep stuff, just kind of want to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. So the beginning of the movie was super cool. You kind of saw everyone coming together. Whoever plays Cersei is a joint. Gemma Chan. Oh my gosh, she's beautiful. I would ruin my life to have a date with her. Gemma Chan, hey, come here. Gemma Chan, I would ruin my life. I would jump in front of a car for you. You are beautiful. I need a girl like that. Like, is that so hard? Like, where can I find a girl like that? All right. Crazy. Beautiful, talented, powerful. There's a scene at the beginning of the movie with Kit Harington and Richard Madden. If you don't know, they were both in Game of Thrones. And what happened in Game of Thrones is episode 3 or something like that. They kind of split off and did their own little like separate quests and adventures inside of Game of Thrones. Richard Madden. I can't think of his character right now in Game of Thrones. I can't believe I can't think of it. Anyways, he ends up dying, so they never see each other. So there's a scene in Eternals where they meet and the camera zooms in and it's them just staring at each other, and you know damn well that the director was like, we're doing this for the Game of Thrones fans. I don't care whatsoever. So that was super dope. Everyone kind of cheered at that. Like, there was like a bunch of like, oh, going on. So that was super cool. And also, I don't understand why people were saying that it was hard to follow. It was perfectly laid out. That the cast is spot on. That's one thing that Marvel has done perfectly. Besides casting Harry Styles, I don't know how I feel about that, but perfectly is casting for the MCU. And I feel like it's going to start getting hard because like they have like some big name actors, right? And like if you kill one off, you can't really go and get one. So or you can't really like bring him back and have him play something else. So that's kind of cool. And so yes, and like the whole film, like to me, I always wondered like what happens next after Thanos, right? Everyone's like, well, they have to bring in the Avenger, or they have to bring in the X-Men, the Fantastic Four. They're going into the dark stuff with Blade, and Doctor Strange, and then they have like the high outer space things or extra. There's a word that they use that I can't think of how they describe it, but things that do with space. You know what I'm talking about. So you have that going on. So there's just so much dynamic that is happening inside of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that, like, if you're not watching these movies, what are you doing? This is the coolest thing ever to ever happen. Marvel is doing literally the coolest thing that you could ever do. You have a bunch of movies that lead up to one big thing, and it's cool and it's amazing. And if you're not a fan, you're crazy. I wanted to say, Kumal was absolutely hilarious. I didn't know how huge of a part that he was going to play, because he got shredded for this part, and I think, dude, he was a great comedic relief. So I'll break it down kind of, because there's one part that I really want to talk about is, so like at the beginning of the movie, they kind of show up and then they're like, oh, we're the Eternals, like we help you. And then the Celestials are like, you have to kill all the deviants. So they're like, okay, so they spend years upon years killing all the deviants, and then they kill all the deviants while also going through time and watching humans evolve. And so they kill all the deviants, but they're not allowed to go home, because the only way you can go home is when you kill all the deviants. So they were stuck there for like 8,000 years. So now it's present day, and the deviants are coming back, and you kind of just break everything down. They're gathering up the team to fight the deviants and figure out why, because they find out that Earth has to be destroyed to create more life. So pretty much what the Eternals do is they go and they kill all the deviants, because they're trying to stop the Celestials to spawn a new Celestial and kind of break and start new life. So pretty much what happens is like once a Celestial comes, it literally explodes a world and kind of creates a big bang, and with that spawns new life. So in order for new life to be started, the world has to die. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, we can't be doing that. We don't want to kill these people. They have an attachment to humans. So they're like, yeah, we need to stop this. Is there a way to stop it? And then freaking Icarus is like an anti-bad guy. Like, he's a good guy, but bad guy. He's just trying to do his job, right? He killed the team leader, Ajax, killed her, lied to the whole team. But this is like the part that I really want to talk about, and the part that just got me super amped up was at the end of the movie when you see the Celestial coming up from Earth and everything's shaking, and you just see how gigantic that thing is. And then it stops. Like, we're getting our first glimpse at what it could be for the Avengers to fight Galactus. And I was the fanboy in me was freaking out. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. You see the hands start coming up and it's massive, and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, this is like, it got me so hyped up for the next set of movies, like everything that they're about to do, because I would imagine they're going the Galactus route, right? Let me know in the comments. Do you think they're going the Galactus route? Now, that's going to be not for another like 10, 15 years. So they have to build up to that. So they have to bring in the X-Men, the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four is going to work more with outer world stuff, we'll call it. So I'm super hyped for that. I see why they're bringing the Fantastic Four now, because I'm sure that they're going to be like, oh, like, what is this? It's just so much cool stuff. And then the post-credit scenes, those post-credit scenes, though, I think I was talking to my friend about this. I was like, I think most of us or me, which is kind of funny, is like you go to the movie for the movie, but also you're there for the post-credit scene because you want to know what happens next. I was like, to be honest, I just go to these movies just so I can see the post-credit scene and get super hyped. Super hyped. So yeah, the Eternals will probably be a movie that I watch again. I'm not huge into watching movies twice. I've only seen Avengers and Endgame once. I should probably go back and visit that. But it's just because like you've seen it, so like why do you need to see it again? I like to watch new things or like new stories. So like I don't want to go back and watch the same thing. Like I watch the same characters do a new story, but I'm not gonna go back and like cycle through like all that stuff. Like I was obsessed with Arrow the show, so that watching that all the way through, I was like, okay, cool, that's dope. But now, I'm not gonna go back and ever watch it. The only show I would ever go back and watch again would probably be Game of Thrones. But my heart's broken from that, so I can't really. Not yet. I'll let it wait like a year and a half, and then I'll probably watch it again. But yeah, man, that movie was so good, so good. It made me there's something I wrote down too, was like what you walked away with from that whole movie is like what like the main theme of it was that people are beautiful and what you love is worth fighting for. And it was emotional, kind of, for me at least, because, you know, like if you love something enough, then it's worth fighting for. And that's what Cersei did throughout the movie. So yeah, I don't know. It kind of hit like a soft spot in me. I was like, oh gosh, it's so beautiful. But yeah, man, I just really want to talk about that. Part of me really wants to start a podcast. If you're watching this, if you're listening, tweet at me or comment down below if I should start a comic book podcast where I kind of just break down the new Marvel movies, break down the shows and stuff. But I kind of want that to be with somebody because it's kind of hard to talk about all that stuff on your own. But, dude, let's talk about some other stuff, too. Dude. Yo. Kim K and Pete Davidson gives me hope. Dude, seeing Pete Davidson with Kim K gives me so much hope as a man, because if Pete Davidson, arguably one of the most not so good looking dudes, honestly, Pete Davidson's a good looking dude, but people will say that he's ugly. All right. So if people say that he's ugly and he's pulling Kim K, dude, I can at least score a TikTok thought. Right? I think that's in the guidelines of like if someone like Pete Davidson can get Kim K, then I could score a TikTok thought. Right? It's not that hard, dude. Dude, there's so many TikTok thoughts. There's so many TikTok thoughts. Dude, I don't know if it's just my Instagram or not my Instagram, sorry, my TikTok, dude, but every post it's just girls, it's just thirst traps after thirst traps after thirst traps, and some of them get me too. Some of them I go and follow them and I'm like, oh, they don't have that many followers, maybe they'll follow me back. No, thirst trap after thirst trap after thirst trap. They get money after money after money on OnlyFans and all that stuff, dude. I'm like, holy crap, dude, I wish I was that good looking to start an OnlyFans, dude. I'd be taking hella photos of my feet. I would go and get coffee. I would put the coffee on a picnic table. I would take off my socks and my shoes, and then I would prop my feet up, and I would set a self timer, and I would take a photo of my feet, and then I would DM the people that subscribe to my OnlyFans and be like, for one low monthly cost of $100, you could see my feet next to some coffee, and then because I'm so popping off, I'd make like $30,000 off of a photo of my feet and coffee. Oh, and also, if you think that these girls and stuff aren't making fucking bags, if you think that these thirst trap girls aren't making bags, hey, dude, if you're a girl on TikTok and you're hot and you have an OnlyFans, you're making bags, making so much money, dude. If you think, what? Hey, I wish I could be doing that. Like I said, I'd take photos of sandwiches with my feet, dude. I'd put bread on both sides of my feet, sandwich with my shirt off. I would have it start. I would take my phone, film my feet inside of 2 pieces of bread with some salami, and I would even put the toothpick through the bread that's going through my toes, even looking like even more of a sandwich. Because if I was that popping off, dude, I'm dedicated. I'm dedicated to the craft. And I would take my phone and I would film myself showing my feet up to my chiseled abs, and then I would dump water on myself. Sell that. If you want to see it, $50. $50. I've been making that bag. That's how you. That's when I'd be.
That's weird.
Oh no, wrong one.
On my jet, bitch.
You know, on my jet, bitch, and I'd be doing this the whole time. I'd just be taking photos of my feet, listening to this song, taking photos of my feet. Woo! You know, dude, taking hella photos of my feet, man. So like I said, dude. I could go into this. I have this written down here that I forgot. Speaking of girls doing crazy stuff for bags, I was on Twitch, right? Because the new COD's out. Hey, if you want to watch me stream some COD, follow me at You Might Be Surprised on Twitch. I stream pretty much every other day on Twitch. It's a fun time. We get kind of crazy. But I was trying to watch some new gameplay of the new Call of Duty because I want to see if I want to buy it. And if you're like me on Twitch, you probably follow a lot of people that you kind of forget about. So I was kind of scrolling through to see, and I saw that one of these girls. I'm not even gonna mention her name because I think it's complete freaking ridiculous. So here's the thing. In social media content world, if you're a girl, it's just guaranteed that you get more views and more likes because that's just how it goes. It's just how it is, right? Compared to a guy, it's kind of like the argument backwards if you think about it, where it used to be like the pay gap between men and women. So now there's a gap between views, because if you're a girl, it's just how it is. You get followers quicker, you get views quicker, and that's just how it is. Like, there's no changing it. There's nothing you can do to change that. So I was on Twitch, right? And dude, sometimes the most viewers I've ever had on Twitch was 75. The most views I've ever gotten on a podcast is almost 1,000. The most views that I get on my vlogs, 500 views. And I grind. All right. Now, I could be doing more. Yes. I really need to do more. Yes. Am I unorganized? Yes. But dude, I try, right? And like, that's all you can do. Like, take what you know, put it out there, start a podcast, start vlogging, start twitching it up, dude. It's fine. Okay? It's fine. I have a theory that if you can gain followers, then you can do whatever you want in life. If you want to start a clothing brand, you can start a clothing brand. If you want to post photos of your feet on OnlyFans, you can post photos of your feet on OnlyFans. All right. If you want to write a book, you can write a book. All right. But this girl on Twitch, dude, was doing a 24-hour live stream. And cool, right? 24 hours. That's cool. And I click on it, and the title is taking a short break. So I click on it, and there was 120 people. Okay, 120 people in this live stream, which 120 people is good, right? Like it's like just getting people to show up to your Twitch stream is hard as fuck, and that's just how it is. All right, dude, there was 117 people watching a girl sleep. She was taking a nap because she was doing a 24-hour live stream, and she was sleeping. Dude, I'm pretty sure that's a little creepy, right? Having 117 people watching you sleep, that's weird. That's very weird. Imagine waking up and then forgetting that you're live streaming and you do something just weird. Dude, watching a girl sleep on freaking Twitch?
That's weird.
Thanks, Cardi B. It's very weird. And I commented in the chat, it got deleted right away from their mods, which I think is very weird. I'm like, aren't we kind of all creeps watching a girl sleep? Like, I'm pretty sure you could go to jail. Like, if you are a normal person and you walked to someone's house and you just looked in their window and watched them sleep, you would go to jail. You would go to jail. But since it's on Twitch, you can legit stream whatever you want, and you can get views. And she was sleeping. 170 people were watching her sleep, and none of them were commenting. I was like, what are you guys doing? Is this what you do? Like, do people not have anything to do where all they do is just watch someone sleep? At least when you're watching Twitch, you're getting an entertainment value. You know, instead of watching a movie, you can watch someone play games, and you can build a community. They sometimes respond to you. You can give them money because you want to watch them grow, yada, yada, yada. Dude, she was sleeping. Hey, that's a little weird, right? That's a little weird. My stomach is rumbling. I need food because I'm hungover. Crazy, right? Crazy. Absolutely nuts. I need to start doing some wild shit, I guess. One other thing that I wanted to touch on is Dave Portnoy. Dave Portnoy, dude, is he cancelable? I feel like if you build your own, like, you could cancel Dave, but he runs his own shit. So how are you canceling him? I haven't read a lot of the articles. I mean, if you just search up his name, like, you could just see him get absolutely shit on. The article spawned from a reporter, I do know this, that has been trying to dox him for a very long time. Just trying to just get all the shit on him and just figure out how can we make this dude look like a piece of shit. And she wrote this article that was behind a paywall, which, if you're trying to cancel someone and you're trying to prove that someone's a piece of shit, you wouldn't put the article under a paywall, right? You'd want everyone to read it. So this article gets released, the stock price of Penn Gaming, the company that he owns, down the drain. And so that happened. And dude, is he I mean, I'm sure, like, you have brands that are going to pull away from Barstool, supposedly, but at what point do you separate the owner from the brand, right? If Papa John's can get away with still being on the board after he said the N-word on a phone meeting, then Dave Portnoy can really, he's fine, right? And I think he came out and said that's complete bullshit. Yada yada yada. Obviously, read both articles. But yeah, I don't think he's cancelable. I think if you make your own thing, you're uncancelable. I was listening to a podcast with Logan Paul and KSI, and I think KSI said in there, and he's like, I can't really be canceled. Like, people can come out and say some shit about me, but like at that point, it's just like, I mean, unless it's like really bad and like he deserves to go to jail or something like that, that's fine. But like, if you build your own thing, you can literally not get canceled. Like, when you're a comedian and you get canceled, it makes sense because then you can no longer do your shows. Like, when you get canceled, that is like the clubs won't book you, which makes sense. Like, for example, Chris D'Elia, he got canceled with all those allegations of him having sex with underage girls. They all end up not being true, and he just went back to he went into hiding because he was a sex addict, and then he comes out, and now he's popping off again, doing his podcast and things like that. He's on the Calabasas Fight Companion and doing all that stuff. So in reality, Chris could have never actually, like, he was canceled. He no longer was doing shows and stuff, but he did that for him. Now he's doing stand-up again too. So like, if you create your own thing, you can really do like whatever you want. I also made the argument too that you can only get canceled if you're a celebrity or if you have some sort of clout, because normal people don't get canceled. They just get fired from their job or they get arrested. But then what's great about a normal person is they can fight their way back because there's not hundreds of people, all the press just freaking drowning you in all this bad press. For a normal person, if you were to get canceled, like I said, you get fired or you would get thrown to jail, but then you can work yourself back up. Now, granted, if you go to jail, you have that on your record, and so on and so forth. But at least you can work past that and be honest with people that you made a mistake and now you're here and like, look at what I can do now. If you're canceled, like, you literally lose everything. But like I said, if you built your own thing, do you really get canceled? Not really. I mean, like, you can have brands move away from you, but if you're a brand like Barstool that doesn't have all these other brands, like, granted, their podcasts, they have brands and stuff like that, and the Manscaped and all that shit, but it's gonna be a little dent, right? But it's not gonna be, I mean, you're not destroying Dave Portnoy. I mean, I'm sure everyone's freaking out about it. Let me look at his Twitter real quick. You should follow me on Twitter too. YMBS_Chris. It's absolutely hilarious that he's not verified as well. Yeah, dude, he's just doing his own thing. Like, he's just tweeting stuff. Like, he's just doing him, right? It, like, all these articles can come out, but nothing is happening. I'm sure he's dealing with like tons of things behind the scenes for his company, but dude, he's fine. He's fine, dude. This is what I've always said. I'm 25. Let me drop some wisdom on you guys. Work for yourself. Figure out a way to work for yourself. For me, content. I create content. It hasn't popped off yet, but content for me is like the only thing that I can really see myself doing. Also, subscribe to my other YouTube channel where I post vlogs and stuff. Filming a new one tomorrow. So yeah, I'm trying to get more stuff. I'm trying to break through that barrier. Like I said, podcast every week. But yeah, you can't be canceled. Right, Jessica? Right. Anyways, yeah, man, it's a wild podcast. My stomach is rumbling. I am so hungry. 34 minutes is a decent enough podcast for me. For you guys, I kind of got over everything that I want to talk about. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go make some food, edit this podcast, stream some COD tonight. And yeah, I'm sweating. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button or hit it with your car, or slap it, if you're into that. And hit the like button, because as soon as you hit the like button, it helps boost the podcast. And then if you made it this far, you're a real fan. So it means the world to me. I hope everyone has a great rest of your night, a great rest of your day, wherever you're doing. If you're listening to this in the car, well, then you're listening to this in the car. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm going to go take my hungover ass to get some food. I've been Chris. You've been beautiful. And try something new. You might be surprised what happens. Peace, guys.